If you need to increase your conversions, but you hate coming across salesy, then this video is for you. Trust me, I get it. I am also a creative and I have that warm heart and I have that idea that I don't want to push people away because I'm being too salesy or too pushy. I don't want to come across like a used car salesman. It's so important that we find that happy medium between not pushing our sales enough and being too passive and being a little bit too pushy or making people feel uncomfortable, right? There is a fine line between doing something in a way that shows the value of what we create and our offer and really convinces people that it will make their life better or that we are exactly who they're looking for to work with for their stationery, and being a little bit more on the heartfelt side and not wanting it to come across like we're being pushy or salesy. So in this lesson, I am going to give you my strategies for navigating the consultation call with your clients and hopefully giving you some tips and strategies to not only show the value of working with you, but also really connect to the people that you're talking to and build a relationship that leads them to want to work with you. Ultimately, what is true here is that no matter how good you are at painting or no matter how good you are with your eye for design and creating a beautiful end product, if you are not spending time developing your sales strategy in your business, then you are not going to see the success that you could. If there's one thing you take away from this video, I want that to be the importance of doing sales calls. Now, I know we all have different personality types and we may not feel super comfortable doing a sales call, but I want to push you out of your comfort zone here because what this ultimately comes down to is the reality that when someone is hiring a vendor to take care of a very personal part of their wedding day, and they're planning to spend thousands of dollars to hire this vendor, they need to feel like they trust that vendor. They need to feel like they know them and they trust them. And so trying to accomplish this through email or through social media or through your website can be really difficult. And sometimes the simple act of hosting a 10 to 15 minute call with your new leads can do wonders in terms of helping them to get to know you as a person, to feel confident hiring you, and to just say yes and move forward. So in this video, I'm going to show you some strategies to help schedule those calls to come across professional and how to lead your clients through those calls in a way that shows them that you know what you're doing and that they can trust you with their stationery. The first tip that I want to give you is to use a scheduler to schedule these calls, okay? Do not go back and forth via email, sharing the available time slots you have and asking them for the available time slots they have and then asking them for their phone number and all of that back and forth. Not only is it going to require more from your leads before you actually get to the call, but it's also just not as professional. It doesn't make your business seem as organized and tidy as it would if you had a scheduler. So there are platforms like Acuity or Calendly where you can set up an account and use those to put in your availability, and then you just send a link for them to go through and schedule. I personally use the scheduler that comes included with Dubsado. It is awesome. And so I love that I can have those appointments scheduled in my clients' projects. I use it for my design consultations for my booked clients as well. And it really is just a wonderful tool that comes as a part of your Dubsado subscription. So I will link a referral code for Dubsado in the description of this video where you can get a discount. I believe it's 20% off your either first month or first year with Dubsado. They also have a 3-client trial that is really amazing. And so you can get started playing around in Dubsado and seeing if it works for you before you actually have to pay for it. The scheduler that I use not only gives them my available time slots where they can then book a call, but it also asks them for their phone number and it adapts to their time zone. And so it makes it super clean and super easy for new leads to book a 15-minute call with me where then I will ask them more information and share about my packages. When you get to the point where you're actually on the call, my best tip for you is to make sure that you are the leader of the call, okay? Don't get on this phone call with a new lead and kind of expect them to lead the way in terms of telling you all the information about their wedding. I want you to come prepared with specific questions about their wedding that you would need to know in order to put together a design board, so some inspiration and ideas for their invitation suite, as well as package pricing options for them. And so that includes things like how many guests are they inviting? Do they know the number of households they'll need to mail an invitation to? What is their vision? Do they have colors in mind? What's the formality? Are they planning a black tie wedding? Is it more casual? All of these things will help you not only to see their vision and get to know them a little bit better as a person, which builds that personal connection, but also to gather some details that you will need in order to create pricing options for them. I always recommend that you ask for budget on this call. Okay. So I know that it can be awkward and it can be hard to put somebody on the spot asking them what their budget is. But ultimately, at this point, you have already invested a decent amount of time in this person. And the next step will require even more of your time as you put together packages, as you put together a design board, as you spend time emailing and following up with them. And so it's really important that you create this filter at this stage where you ask them about their budget. My favorite way to ask about budget is to say, so as I'm putting together packages for you to consider, I'd love to know if you have a top budget number or if you have a range that you're looking to spend for your stationery. That question gives them options. They can give me a max number. This is the most we're willing to spend, or they can say somewhere in this range. A lot of times the people I speak to will say, we're not really sure. And so I don't always get a specific number from leads on these calls. However, I am then able to turn around and say, okay, so just to give you an idea of where our packages start, our minimum is $3,500. If you would like to add these upgrades, it will go up from there. And this is after I have already gone through and shared all of what's included in my packages. And so they know that for that $3,500, they're getting custom design, custom artwork, a 5-piece invitation suite, a full sample kit for them to review before design. They're going to get envelope addressing, assembly, postage, mailing, and a keepsake suite. So they already know all of the value that comes in that price point, but I want to make sure they know the price point, because ultimately, if I say $3,500 and they know that their max budget is $2,000, they're going to tell me right then. They're going to say, oh my gosh, I so appreciate your time, but we're really only looking to spend $2,000 to $2,500. Is there any way that we would still be able to work with you? And at that point, I would probably just say, this has been great. I hope that this is helpful for you to learn more about the process of custom stationery. But unfortunately, our prices start at $3,500. I'm happy to give you a few referrals of other stationers I know who might work better for your price point. And so that little conversation, that little back and forth, it may feel a little scary, but ultimately it's so important because I don't want anybody to have their time wasted, both me and my team and the clients who aren't sure about the price points. So next up, I want you to remember to share your process and what you include in your base package. So you want to go through your entire process of, project timeline, and then design consultation, and then custom design artwork, and then you create in design proofs for them to review and give feedback, and then you revise until they love the suite, and then you take care of all printing and production. You send them a spreadsheet where they fill in their addresses, and you take care of envelope addressing, you source postage, and you mail the invitations. You want to give them all of that information so that they truly see the value in working with you. It's not just like ordering invitations online. It is like working with somebody who is on your side, who is in your back pocket, who is a true professional, and not only will take this off of your plate, but will be a guidance for you when you have questions, when you're not sure about etiquette, when you're not sure about addressing, all of those things. When you break down your process, it allows you to really explore all of the ways that you add value for your new lead. And then the very last thing you're going to do is share next steps. Everybody wants to know, when can I expect to get more information from you? When will I receive the packages? What do I need to do in order to book? And what's my timeline looking like? And so I will always go through the next steps. I will let them know, hey, by the end of the day today, we'll be in your inbox with some packages for you to review along with your design board. Please let us know when you're ready to move forward. And the first steps to secure your spot on our schedule are a signed contract and a 50% retainer payment. And so letting the client know that makes it feel like predictable. And that allows them to expect what's coming next and to kind of know that process with confidence, which ultimately will lead to a higher conversion rate because it's not going to be them just sitting around waiting to find out what your process is. They know everything up front, and that allows them to make the best decision and allows you to avoid wasting any of your time. Okay, I hope this lesson was helpful for you as you are learning this process of selling your services and selling your stationery and learning how to really pull your people in and help them see the value in what you can create for them. In our next lesson, we are going to get into the next step of this process, which is presenting pricing. And so I am going to give you some tips and tricks on how to avoid sticker shock, how to help your clients see the value and not feel so overwhelmed by a higher price point than maybe they were expecting. So make sure you come back next week and watch that lesson. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. Have you been dreaming of starting or growing a stationery business? One that grants you the freedom to work for yourself, spend your days pursuing your creative passions, and building a lucrative business that helps you reach your personal goals? My stationery design course, Dream to Design, is your perfect next step. Whether you are a brand new aspiring stationery designer or you're an established stationer looking to hone your craft and learn and grow your business this year, this course is the perfect place for you. Inside Dream to Design, you will learn the nitty-gritty design and production skills needed to create beautiful stationery. But most importantly, you'll learn how to create a design process that wows your clients, keeps your business profitable, and protects your time. My name is Elizabeth. I am the owner of Elizabeth Stuckey Design, and I have built a multiple six-figure stationery business from what started as an Etsy shop side gig. I started with no background in graphic design, art, or business. Instead, I was a high school English teacher with a craving for more freedom and flexibility. With my teaching degree in my back pocket, I am now here to educate other new and growing stationers all about how to start and build a successful business in the stationery industry. After you enroll in Dream to Design, you will not only receive access to over 20 lessons that break down every single step of my design process, but you'll be invited to join my private course community to start this journey alongside many other like-minded creatives and entrepreneurs. We will support one another, challenge one another, and ultimately grow our businesses together with a community over competition mindset. Your experience in this course will include 4 coaching calls, 3 industry expert guest lessons, a comprehensive workbook to guide you through the lessons with tons of exercises, templates, activities, and color matching tools, and so many more resources than I can even list here. You even get a whole arsenal of custom watercolor artwork that you can play with as you are designing. Here's the thing. If you book just one single client from the skills and strategies you take away from Dream to Design, you will make back your investment with plenty of change to spare. I have no doubt you will book more than just one client. This is your year. Take this step, join us inside Dream to Design, and see the incredible things that are about to happen for your business.